In the southern region of Malawi, Chiradzulu district to be specific, lies a young women-led organization called Young Women Rise YOWORI. YOWORI is missioned to alleviate human suffering and social injustices of the ordinary people, especially young women and girls, by providing renewed hope to the hopeless and voice to the voiceless for the socio-economic and educational development.
Inenga kalibe sindinagwirepo singane kuti fa zaka zathe koma ndichaka chimozi mwana moyo wanga wasintha kwa basi sindine goalkeeper ndine player amene ndikuponya mpira akuyakha ndiyana ukodi akumakhala pa goals pano ndiyana mnazida ndipisa luso la kusoka ndipo makina ndipa sinabogera ntchito makasoma akubwera ndamanda zipesa pomwe napanga ine khumbo langa limene nalipo.
The organization envisions to have a community with more women and girls that are able to voice out against any form of violence and those that are economically fit. YOWORI also strives to have a community that has young men with full responsibility over themselves and have full support rendered to their counterparts, the adolescent girls and young women.
In February 2020, 20 young women under Tradition Authority in Chema from 3 group village herds, Mpotola, Balakasi, and Nakata, were blessed with basic tiling skills inside the Young Women Rights organization, Yes We Can Project. The project is financially supported by Women First International Fund, WFIF. Yes We Can Project aims at improving the economic and financial positions of young women in the society. The project intended at training 20 young women in business and tailoring skills, 12 girls with a loan, 5 girls with a seed amount to establish a village saving loan group, in turn sustaining their living daily. In the end, the women are believed to be assisted with financial loans to start out a cooperative. According to the organization's programs manager, Elmida Nkandawire, the project has a number of key indicators and expected outcomes. Nkandawire explains.
My name is Elmida Nkandawire and I am the programs manager for Young Women Rise. Indeed, Young Women Rise is implementing a project, namely Yes We Can. This project aims at empowering women, whereby we had to train them in tailoring skills. We selected a number of 20 beneficiaries in TA Chema, in which most of these young women are adolescent girls. This project aims to address the occurrence of gender-based violence in our communities. So to solve that problem, we thought it wise that if we can empower women, we will be able to save them from facing different forms of violence. And we're also looking at the corner of making them to be self-reliant and independent women, whereby they'll be able to provide their homes with basic needs and other things that a woman will need to have. A number of women have started reporting the cases that they meet in their families because they are empowered now. In the past, such a thing will not happen because they were afraid that they will lose a home. They will have no one who can support them with food. They will have no one who can support them with money, whereby if they want to go to the hospital. So to us is something that is amazing, and we are so proud as an organization knowing that our women are being saved from gender-based violence. I'm very proud knowing that my department has contributed a lot to this, and with the entire team from the organization, knowing that we are able to improve the welfare of our women. We have a number of beneficiaries that have been supported with tailoring skills. So with these tailoring skills, they are able to support their communities with the services that they are able to provide. there has been massive monitoring, whereby we had to go on a monthly basis to check out if there's progress in our project. And we have very good results to see that a number of beneficiaries, they're really improving a lot, and it's making us happy and to know that we have contributed something to them. With the beneficiaries that we train in tailoring skills, half down the number have benefited, which presents a 50%. By this I mean that 10 of the beneficiaries have benefited quite a lot from the program. Since we have already capacitated with skills in these beneficiaries, we are able to know that they can also be able to train other fellow women in the communities, and not just only this community, but it can even be extended to other communities, so that people, they should be able to appreciate our work. A message to my fellow women: don't feel limited with available resources that you can be provided with. Any opportunity that you might meet along your way, please grab it and use it, because there are so many other people that they are missing these kind of things to be reached out to them. So use it wisely. Know that you are powerful. Know that you can make it. Yes, we can. Women, we can. Youth, you can. Yes, you can.
After 6 months training on basic tailoring and business management, in December of the same year 2020, YOWORI handed over 20 sewing machines to the trainees. This was to make their tailoring business journey a smooth process for the beneficiaries. Devi Matene, a local tailor who was hired as an instructor, shared with YOWORI's monitoring and evaluation team that the trainees showed interest in the project intentions. Matene explains that during the training, over 60% of the young women under training were fast capturing the training contents, and this made his duty easily discharged. 9 months have now passed since the beneficiaries were handed over the machines to venture into the actual business in their respective settings. One element everyone would ask is whether the project is making any progresses or not. We are in Traditional Authority in Chema, one of the biggest TAs located in the northeastern part of Chiradzulu district, one of the catchment areas of Young Women Rise. Meet Beatrice Jonam, one of the beneficiaries who was equipped and received a sewing machine inside Yes We Can Young Women Rise project. Beatrice, like all other beneficiaries, joined the team in February, and upon receiving the machine, she could not delay her returns but venturing into the community-based challenge. Beatrice says the training and the machine both are changing her livelihood. Today, Beatrice owns a number of possessions and she is able to sustain her economic welfare. Jonam explains.
Ndimakhoza kuti ndikumasoka moja nomapezeka kuti mwina kapena pali mavuto koma mavuto ndochepa. Ndasuwa chokudya ndimapezeka kuti ndasoka ndikuthamanga kupita kukagula chokudya. Enanso mbanja mwawo mapezeka kuti mwina kumazunzika chifukwa choti chani akusowa chithandizo. Ineyo ndimakhoza kuti ile mmene zimu amene azimya ndikamene ndipabwino kuti ndizisoka kuti zitani amazabwera iyi tithandizeni zakuti ndimatha kumwina kuwathandiza koma akachithandizo kochepa nali ngati banja mwanga kuti nani ndithandizikire. Aujeni amozi
Chabwino.
komiti ya mozi nazabwera kuti kuli ujeni doko so project kuti ansikana akaphunzire za utelalingi.
Chabwino.
Koma ndofunika alembere.
Chabwino.
Ndinazalembera. Kati nditalembera kunazapezeka kuti sindinayankhidwe.
Oh.
Nitakhala pang'ono nditazatumizidwa sonthenga kuti mukufunika ku school.
Chabwino.
Nditazapita kumene kuchena pakuti ena amanyozera ndoti asiya.
Chabwino.
Zitheka kuti mulowe malomo. Oti leo ndinali ndichikondo ndiyoti ndimafuna za utelalingi. Ndinazavomereza kuti ndi chimene ndimatani ndimafuna. Oti ndinazapita mochedwa ndinazapeza anzanga ataphunzira myezi 3.
Chabwino.
Ndikupita ku school chonchicha napezeka kuti zina zimandilephereka ifa choti chani ndinachedwa.
Okay.
Aphunzitsa mango panga zapasogolo kuti nangaena afika koma apange zapasogolo.
Chabwino.
Mufumiza nthawi.
Chabwino.
Sinafoke koma ndimazapitabe kumatani kumaphunzira.
Okay.
Ndi kumaphunzira chonchija ndinazapezeka kuti pang'ono pokha ndikutani ndikuyesera.
Okay.
Ndinazabwerako kunoko ndisanalandire machini.
Mama wakukata mapempa yawe buye mundikondelebe kenako wakumunda pamoto atateleka popala
Ndisanalandire machini ndikumasoka kwa tera.
Chabwino.
Ndinazapezeka mwayi wakalala. Anazabwera asikana okwaneka 10 kuti ndiyasokere kalala.
Chabwino.
Ndidzasoka chonchija ndinazapeza kuti ndapeza kaphindu kochuluka.
Chabwino.
Ndikupezeka kuti drama iyi ndipanga nayo bwanji. Nditazapanga chonchija ndati ndiyenera kuti ndi drama iyi ndigwise chito kuti ndizakumbukira pasogolo.
Chabwino.
Ngakhale ndisanalandire machini.
Okay.
Mwinaso kuzapezeka kuti izachuluka ndikuzapezeka kuti ndizagula machini.
Okay.
Ndinazagula nkhumba.
Chabwino.
Ndikumaweta.
Chabwino.
Ndinazapita kulandira machini.
Okay.
Komano ndinasakha kuti ndagula kaye chiweto.
Chabwino.
Chokhozekera kuti mwina kubweraku ndikhoza kuzagula machini.
pamoto atateleka popala abambo abanyumba doing nothing at all anakunyinyirika ninjala know that she be stressing and piling up a little bits and then that.
Grace Chabwela is one of the successive beneficiaries. She comes from Group Village in Podola in Sabon Village. Grace has managed to build her things covering her house, starting a new business, and supporting her daughter who is doing her secondary education at Shiladzula Secondary School in the district. Among others, Grace is planning to call out general maintenance of her house. She says her household was rescued from damaging poverty through Yes We Can project. Grace shares that YOWORI affected the beginning of her better family life. Victoria C. Lord, Doreen Handwatch, and many other beneficiaries are doing massive work, which in turn is supporting and sustaining their daily living.
Group Village head Mpotola mentions that his village has benefited a lot from the initiative, especially to the beneficiaries from his area. Mpotola recommends YOWORI for being such practical in transforming the lives of adolescent girls and young women. The leader also pleaded with organization management to continue supporting his area with other opportunities so that his people, girls, and women in specific should also be part of the change the community desires.
Achisikana anthu umenewu ambiri mwa iwo mwina akupezeka kuti anaberekedwa ana awiri ena mwana mmodzi ndiye kusova mwana kuti akule bwinobwino kumakhala pawo kuvutika koma atangolandira machina limodzi limene amapeza amathuka kagula kasopo kagula kamchere ndiye ndi phindu lalikulu ndithu limene latipangira Young Women's Rights kwambiri ndipo mukire bwino siku lija makamba kuti kutakhala kothekera kuti Young Women's Rights yapezanso dona wina kuti chili kule zikanachita bwino manenera anangolandira machini koma sanalandire zimaterials ndiye wopasidwa amangokhala beninja.
In his words, Group Village Balakasi agrees with Mpotola that YOWORI is indeed doing the very best in changing lives. Balakasi assures the organization team that his area will make sure that it uses the opportunities brought by the organization very well by monitoring direct beneficiaries from his area. Balakasi says it is also crucial that boys and young men should also be considered in such programs so that they should not feel left out. This will bring ownership in them too and continue with women empowerment. Then they can continue being perpetrators, mentioning that they are not equally reached.
But what do the government sectors say over this initiative? Our team met Ms. Anganile Chwaula, who is the Assistant Youth Officer in the District Youth Office. The official says the project has been one of the practical projects from its start. The project is indeed changing lives, especially the young women recruited. It is very encouraging to see that youth-led organizations are designing projects that have the capacity to effect the desired change. Chiwaula alludes that this is in line with the aspirations made in the MW 2063 agenda, which recognizes the youth and women as key drivers of change. Young Women Rise is proving it right, as they are greatly contributing to the government efforts to meet the targets in the Malawi Growth and Development Strategy. Chiwaula shares with our team.
I am Ankanine Chiwaula. I'm the Assistant Youth Officer in Chilatsuro District. We are so much aware of this project. This project started in February 2020. That is last year. They are working with 20 young girls and adolescents, young women, and training them in business management and tailoring. In December 2020, after their training, they were handed machinery, tailoring machinery, and they started working right away on the ground. Because Young Women Rise is dealing with out-of-school women and young girls, this is helping the young girls and stay-home moms to be financially sustainable in their everyday lives. Young Women Rise is bringing change in the Nchema area of Chilatsuro, because a lot of young women and girls are able to sustain and develop themselves financially and even in the health sector. I would like to encourage the youth in Chilatsuro district to utilize the opportunity when they hear and when we let them know that there is a new partner working with the youths. And the other thing is that I would like to talk about reports in the district. This goes to the youth clubs also, because when we are selecting a youth club to work with a partner, we take a youth club that is reporting and that know management in the youth club. So it is very important that they should be able to report back to us what they have done, the activities they have done, so that the donor can be comfortable and work with them according to the plans and activities. And the last thing I'll talk about is to be organized. I would urge the youth to be organized, because where there is organization, a good work and activity is always done. Thank you.
The District Gender Officer for Chilatsuro District, Precious Banda, also recommends the great job that Young Women Rise is putting on the ground. The officer says the organization is meeting the demands of adolescent girls and young women. Banda continued mentioning that today the world is fostering equality in all grounds and economic development among their aspects. The officer shares with our team.
African women, if you know that they living inside the circle, if you ask me, we must trade, I say.
My name is Patience Panda. I am the gender officer for Chilatsuro District Council. You know, as government and the private sector, we do complement each other, and the non-government organizations are there to complement the government efforts. So we appreciate the availability of organizations such as YOWORI. Especially, I would like to talk more about the project of Yes We Can. This project is very, very, very important since it targets the young women. You know, the gender issues, as far as women are concerned, they are the disadvantaged group. So being a young woman, they meet a lot of challenges on their way. Some of them, they drop out of their schools. When they drop out of school, there's nothing they can do. They've got babies whom they're supposed to take care of, but they've got nothing on the ground. So when such kind of projects, such kind of organizations come into the district, come into the picture, we appreciate very much. This project especially has been so very much important because it has empowered the young women. As I'm trying to say, as I'm talking now, the young women from the impact area for YOWORI have been empowered. They've been given the trainings in tailoring, business management. As we are talking, they've got machines, they've received machines, tailoring machines. Now they can sew. Now they've gone into businesses. They're running their small-scale businesses. Some of them, their life has changed. Their basic needs are being met on a daily basis. This is a good initiative. This is a very important initiative as far as somebody's welfare, somebody's life is concerned. So I would commend this project to be very, very important. It has changed lives. Yeah, thank you so much. The message is obvious. We are calling upon several organizations that are out there. There are a lot of organizations out there. The first thing that I would like to mention is they should have that eye to see what's the shortfall, what's the where can they pour in their resources. As far as gender issues are concerned, you know, gender is so wide, gender is cross-cutting. It touches each and every aspect of somebody's life. So the organizations that are there out there, I can urge them that they should at least mainstream gender activities into their budgets, into their planning, into their strategic plannings, so that we together we address gender issues. The second thing that I can call for the non-governmental organizations, they should also try as much as possible to help government, to complement government's effort. We try to mainstream gender in activities or activities. Another thing that we would like to see is to make young women and young boys to be at par. It's not that we are biased by the one gender, no. But we want to make the other gender, this gender, the women, the young women, to be at par with men. Because naturally, we slack back. Women are always back, they are behind. So when we mention about gender, somebody will say, no, it's biased. It always talks about women. It's not like that. We do mainstream. We want to reach at that stage that men and women, they have got equal access, equal opportunities that life can give. So that's why we mention men, women, but we do both sexes. So I would like to urge the non-governmental organizations out there that they should help us in curbing this. They should help us in doing so much activities that are targeting young women and young boys wherever necessary. YOWORI has been very much of essence to, as far as the district is concerned, and as far as the government of Malawi at large is concerned, because it has eased the government in terms of providing especially the trainings, especially the equipment, the detailing machines. You know, government sometimes we have got a very large catchment area which we don't manage to do. So the coming in of the organizations gives us opportunity to reach out where government has failed to do so. So we see YOWORI as a very effective organization with a very effective project that has come, and we plan to collaborate with YOWORI very well. We plan to go with them into the field, monitor those businesses, encourage those young women, provide each and every support that is necessary. Whenever you need us, tell us. We are available for you. Thank you so much. My message to young girls out there is that whenever the opportunity comes your way, you have to grab it. Grab it and make use of it. There is a saying that they say that make hay where the sun shines. Because you never know. Today we might have the sun shining. Tomorrow we might have rains. So you better make hay where the sun is shining. What I'm trying to say is grab the opportunity and make use of it. Change your life and realize your dreams. This is the time. You have to wake up, girls. No more sleeping. Wake up and make use of any opportunity that comes on your way. Thank you so much.
Chikondi Njaya, a monitoring and evaluation officer for Young Women Rise, confidently says that the project is attainable and realistic. Njaya says the project can achieve its expected outcomes if the beneficiaries are well monitored in the implementation of what they learn from the trainings. According to Njaya, it is a celebration to the organization to see these best results from the beneficiaries, despite them not being allocated with startup materials. He says there are a lot of learning through the M&E process conducted.
Well, much as monitoring and evaluation of the project is concerned, I am very, very happy to see that the project is really coming into its expected outcomes. It was expected that maybe by the end of the time, maybe a period of a year, we should be able to have young women, adults and girls that are able to stand on their own, much as their business is concerned. And after we did the progress tracking in the respective settings which these young women and adolescent girls are coming from, we have really captured that they are doing good. That's why today we are able to have these best practices. I'm sure you have been able to enjoy the whole documentary, and that's definitely something which is telling us that the project was designed in a way which is so attainable and of course realistic. Of course, there were a number of learnings, much as the process of the progress tracking was concerned, because I realized that inside the project we did not even prioritize on the startup materials. Say, for example, giving them maybe some capital, maybe financial capital in other ways, beside the machines which we actually gave them. You'd see that they managed to have the skills, to use the skills they had given and find or outsource from their localities some small things or small resources which helped them to this extent. And for all the best practices that you have seen in this documentary, you'd see that there are those that are also part and parcel of the process from the start, and they were not also allocated with basic startup materials, but they've managed doing this. It means that the business management skills that they were given were actually real, and they have actually managed to help them to be where they are today. We have a great hope that maybe given 2 years, some of these best practices will be somewhere, and from the best practices we'll go back and also impart the same knowledge or skills or power these young ladies are doing or are using towards the other ones which are not performing better. So the main area that we are focusing on is to see each and every participant or every beneficiary to actually manage to sustain their lives economically, and at the end of the day they are always self-reliant. So yes, these are the things that we can actually share with you, much as the monitoring and evaluation is concerned. We're yet to go into the impact assessment, because currently we have seen the results are good, but at the end of the day we are supposed to actually capture the impacts now. Are girls really going back maybe to school? Because we could actually find out that they were failing to go back to school just because they had financial hassles and all those kind of things. But now, given the opportunity to have the machines that are able to do this, we will see how many young people or how many adolescent girls or young women have that kind of inspiration inside them to go back to school. Of course, when we're going through the progress tracking, some of them have already said they are going back to school, but we are yet to see them into the schools, into the institutions. And of course, we would like to see that these young women and adolescent girls, which are the beneficiaries, being able to support their families and at least sustaining their livelihood day in, day out. And at the end of the day, we see that they are really doing the best they can do so that their lives are kept well, and in turn improving on their social health. We're talking about social statuses or social economic statuses and all those kind of things that we are anticipating to attain. So yes we can. It has proved that indeed young women and adolescent girls can do, if they're given opportunities, if they're given chances, if they're given an opportunity, if we empower them, definitely they will do the best they can do, so that at the end of the day we see a community that is well sustained in terms of development, starting from the personal development, the maybe family development, as well as the community development, and at large we see the district Chiladzo changing, and which will contribute to the statistics of the country. And at the end of the day, you see we are contributing to African statistics, and of course at the global village we see things getting better. So we are going back to the actual global programming, where we need to see the global village improving day in, day out in terms of development areas. So this is something that is very exciting to learn that we have actually captured best practices, and we are yet to actually show the world the best we are doing, much as this one is concerned. So yes, we are ready. Young Women Rise has always been there since 2016. And we are waiting to see that these girls of ours around the district as our target district, and the districts to come in our next programming. And of course, at national level, we should be able to be supporting some of the actual good things that the other girls, young women and adolescent girls are actually having today. One thing everyone will ask is about why are we not maybe concentrating on the male part? We are going towards that. You know, we had to see when we were doing the progress tracking, we had to discover that when we left out the spouses of these young women who are married, we could also say there was a gap, because you know, the women were having different problems. Some of them could say we haven't managed because we could have some challenges in terms of our machines maybe getting off, in terms of maybe spare parts, blockage and all those kind of things. And then we said, no, we can do the other things that we can do now, at least thinking about the spouses, so that in the next training, we should be able to have them. Because at also a certain point, we would also learn that some men could say, sell this. No, you know, this one is not doing good much as your business is concerned, so what you need to do is sell it. Now, this time around, we want to impart the same skills and knowledge in them so that they can be able to own it. We need to have, apart from the personal ownership, we need to have a family ownership, and at the end of the day, we should also see the community ownership. Of course, we're happy to see, like the way the group village headman has actually said in this, we want to see this one in all the areas. The TA, the group village headman, and the headman or the responsible community leaders should be able to actually be responsible over our projects, and we'll be able to also target them in this or the other way, much as the community ownership is concerned. So it's a number one project, because we are seeing these young ladies imparted knowledge, being able to do the best we were anticipating in our project programming. Thank you so much, and we believe you keep coming, and you'll be able to see more of the things that Young Women Rise will be doing anytime soon in other platforms. You can like our pages, you can actually go and check our personal or organization channels, whereby you can be able to capture some of the things that we are doing as an organization. But what is the message to the beneficiaries, the district council, and the donors that are supporting this project? Miriam Chemba is the executive director for Young Women Rise, and she explains.
Well, my name is Miriam Chilemba. I'm the founder and executive director for Young Women Rise. Young Women Rise is a young women-led organization that was founded by survivors of different kinds of gender-based violence. So this team of young women teamed up and formed the organization mainly to fight for the rights of women, especially young women. So we are basically into ending gender-based violence, but through economic empowerment for the women. So in all the projects that we are doing, we are focusing on women empowerment, but the main cause of all these projects is to end gender-based violence, because we believe that once a woman is economically empowered, is less prone to gender-based violence. This is very much related to ending gender-based violence, because whenever a woman is economically empowered, she's less prone to be a victim of gender-based violence, because she'll always have a voice. This is because most of the times women are always silent when they are facing gender-based violence, because they are afraid of losing the support that they always get from their partners or from their husbands. But when someone is in trouble, is facing gender-based violence, and she knows that she can stand on her own, she can always speak out, and she can always seek refuge and be freed from any type of violence that she's facing. From the inception of our programs, we've empowered a number of women, and if we trace all our beneficiaries, we find that at least 50% of them are doing very well, and the other ones not so very well, but at least better than where we started from. And I can confidently say that yes, I'm satisfied, because from the time we started with these women, we started with from the scratch, and after they went through the trainings, and after the trainings they got their certification, and we gave them the sewing machines. They established their businesses. When you go and visit them, you can always find some good things out of that came out of the project. So they are able to say, I managed to do this because of this project. I'm able to do this, I can buy this because it's a profit. This is what I've benefited from the project. So yes, I'm so very confident that this project has been a success.
Like one of the beneficiaries has confidently said she's now a player from a goalkeeper. What does that message actually communicate to you as an organization?
So that one is telling us that as an organization, we are capable of delivering the projects. So this gives us the confidence, and to stand out confidently to say to the world, to all the partners, to the donors, that they can trust us, they can work with us, we can deliver, and whatever we do, they can always have positive results from our projects, and they'll never regret working with Young Women Rise. To the donors of this project, I would like to say thank you to Women First International Fund for the beautiful partnership that we have. And since it's a long-term project, this is just 1 year, and it's maybe 5 more years to come. And I'm going to say that by the end of 5 years, we are going to see more positive things than this, because this is only 1 year and we can see these results. So that by the end of 5 years, there will be complete change, and we're going to have so many success stories from the project. It has been our dream to go beyond Chiradzulu and also maybe to reach like the whole Malawi. And it has also been our dream that one day Young Women Rise should be an international organization. So that we give ourselves at least 4 to 5 years to accomplish that. Young Women Rise is well connected and has a lot of partners, both national and international. And we are also working with departments from the central government, like the gender office, the youth office, and also the social welfare, because of some of our projects that are cross-cutting with these offices. And we are also part of the CSO network, of which Young Women Rise is the General Secretary. So all the partners that are in Chiradzulu, we do work with them in one way or another. And also because of our affiliations with the Kongoma and NGO board, we are also lucky to be partnering with all other organizations that are also affiliates of those boards. So our connection is very, very good, and we partner well with other organizations and entities. My message to the general public is that as organizations, we have our passions to different goals to achieve rather. So like Young Women Rise is mainly focusing on young women and youth. So if there are any other partners that wish to extend their work to Chiradzulu, they can always feel free to come and work with us. We are always happy to have so many partners to work with. And also, if we know that there are other things, of course we are in Chiradzulu, but if you know that there is an intervention that is needed outside Chiradzulu, but you feel that YOWORI is fit to do that, always feel free to reach to us so that we can give a hand.
The organization board chairperson, Ms. Rachel Faith Chanika-Banda, says her team will continue providing technical and material support to the organization to meet its objectives cited in every project designed. The chairperson mentioned that Yes We Can project results cannot be doubted for.
African women see it all, they abuse their rules, but they choose to be about the way.